So here we are. It's coming off from your thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, probably we should both turn our volumes down.
I muted mine.
Okay. But that mute, I think, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
if that works.
Or you got loaded.
Yeah.
That'll work.
So we're sitting right next to each other. And the Prophet Zacharias is telling me about how the world is going to end. And I believe him because he is the Prophet Zacharias.
It is known, it is written.
And no, it is not an early stream. This is, it's 11 a.m. here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not that early.
And we're caffeinated.
We are caffeinated.
Vaccinated and caffeinated, baby.
Yeah, I just had to take a COVID test because we are going to be doing a small meetup in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And there are branch Covidians in Washington, D.C.
They are haram.
So this is your first time on?
Yeah. It's my first time anywhere, I think, on video. Never did a conversation with PBK. Never done a stream showing my face. But you've all seen my face if you've seen the Prophet Zacharias, you know.
Yeah, the thing.
Profile picture. Me as Joseph Smith.
Yeah. The interesting thing about you, and I think it really is interesting, is to be able to capture people's attention merely by posting memes, right?
Yeah, I love it.
That look,
they're the greatest tool. Like,
yeah, but it's different. You speak loudly with memes. You do. So over the weekend, I mean, obviously, I'm here because you're not that far, you're in between Antiochian Village and Washington, D.C. We won't get any dox you any further than that. But I met the editor-in-chief of Pajot's website kind of blog thing, right, where they put up articles.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, it's not about whether people read the articles. It's not. It's about the broader pattern, right, of, okay, we as a community are paying attention to X, Y, and Z, right? Like, there's not going to be an article about, I don't know, quantum mechanics, unless it's somehow symbolic, whatever. But, you know,
Yeah.
everything ties together.
J.B. Marcel might write that one.
But, and you, like, with your meme posts, you do the same thing. Like, on the Discord server, like, you have your hand on the pulse of, like, when I went to the meme channel, like, it was like, okay, just because there would be so much, I would scroll and just look at the ones that you were posting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
No, it's, yeah. So how do you do your magic?
I'll hear a phrase, and I'll immediately associate it with the context of something else.
Yeah.
That, like, so say there's something happening in a movie,
Yeah.
and it's very hyper specific to the context of that movie. I'll notice a similarity, and I know it's something that's broad enough and popular enough that if I take what, say, PTK just said and just reapply it to that situation, then I know it'll track. And then, I can change some of the other mechanics based on what he was actually talking about. But the picture works.
Yeah.
You know, because the context is there. There's like a shared context.
Okay, but do you have an agenda when you do your meme magic?
Just to be funny. I mean, really, it's not always about. Um, I don't know. I really just like to go for the laugh. The laugh is the primary objective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes there would be like, here's the point this person just made, and I'm gonna visualize it.
Right.
But a lot of times I just like to go for the laugh.
Yeah. So, Jonathan says, bring the memes back, please. The laugh thing. So I have been increasingly, like, I want a test for good and evil. I'm not going to say everyone who has a sense of humor is good, but everyone who doesn't have a sense of humor is evil.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like if you cannot laugh, and if you like, maybe good and evil isn't the thing. It's authoritarianism. Like, laughter just cuts through the authoritarian thing because it's involuntary.
It breaks frames.
Yeah.
It's frame breaking. So here's where you were, and here's a laugh.
Yeah.
And it cuts it because it's involuntary.
Yeah.
So the worldview that you completely have been subsumed by and embody has just been, busted open.
Let me see if I can figure out how to.
I think the phone's.
Okay, I think. Oh, your phone's gonna die soon, aren't you? Yeah. Isn't it?
I know. We still got time though. I'm at 9% now.
So, what do you want to talk about? This is your first time on this huge, great channel of mine.
Hey, I'm on TV, Mom. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
We've been talking.
We've been doing some serious dialogos.
Yeah. We've been talking about a lot of things. Relevance realization. Let's talk about relevance realization. Like, I mean, this is one of the things in our discussion I've been bringing up a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, you have an eye for patterns and seeing through things, and this is what I like about this low corner, right? I talk to people, and none of them are saying the stupid, like, there are things in mainstream discussion which is just idiotic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they should be obviously idiotic to people, and it's just noise. And it's really nice to talk to somebody who cuts through that like you do.
I don't have any basic bitch Starbucks steaks.
As we sit in a Starbucks.
Yeah. We're subverting from the inside.
Yeah, and women who look like Elizabeth Warren are fucking.
Yo. I think she has a tomahawk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're allowed to. You can open carry in Pennsylvania, but I don't know if that applies to
tomahawks.
Yeah.
But the question becomes like, okay, how relevant is this to our lives and what we can affect? And like, I'll tell the joke I told you last night over again. There's an old couple who've been married for 50 years. And somebody asked them, what's the secret to your success? And the old man says, yeah, we decided very early on that I was going to make all the big decisions and she was going to make all the small decisions. I decide, which political party we'll belong to, who we, vote for president, our views on the Trinity, and she decides all the small stuff, like what kind of car are we going to buy, where are we going to live, where we're going to send the kids to school,
Yeah,
right? All
yeah.
the small stuff,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
And there's that. And the other thing we talked about is like, in the 60s, there was a real chance of nuclear war in the United States.
Yeah.
And the people who were making the fallout shelters, like, they weren't crazy, I don't think. But it's very easy to look back at them and be like, they were worried about nothing, right? It's like, things are, yeah. And it's like, okay, how do you decide? Like, this is relevant and this is something that's worth me spending money for.
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of err on the. I like when Eric talks about how even like COVID was sort of a wake up call for the Western world. We've been living under the safety blanket for 75 years.
Yeah.
And I think this current situation in the Middle East is exactly, it's another version of that. Like, it's our throne is being challenged. That's what it feels like.
Pax Americana. So I have to say, and I think Pax Americana, like, I think it's pretty much inevitable that we can no longer stay in the role of the world's policeman that we have been.
Yeah.
And what people, I think, don't realize is, okay, if the U.S. Navy wasn't patrolling for pirates and the shipping lanes weren't being secured by the U.S. Navy,
Yeah.
like, the world would be a very different place than it is now.
Yeah.
We would not be nearly as rich as we are, but neither would the rest of the world.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And for me, far bigger than most of the apocalyptic things people think about is, just if the shipping lanes become a little bit less safe, right? That can actually end up in an economic collapse.
Yeah.
Right? Because imagine what would happen if we couldn't take shipments from China anymore. And during COVID, that kind of happened, and you saw that, especially with construction materials and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what's your answer? How do we fix this?
Basically, what you got to do
Yeah.
is screenshot Point Break, the 1991 version, and then you got to superimpose Putin's face onto the Bodhisattva. I don't know. It's above my pay grade. But
Yeah.
I also feel I'm not a doomer. Well, I am, but I think sometimes things have to break. You know, it's a stress test.
Yeah.
So the stress test either works out or it doesn't, and if it breaks, then that might give you the opportunity to build back better. Or make it great again.
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. So, I mean, there's a reason why I've been trying to, like, meet up with people in real life.
Yeah.
Because I think if we're really, like, we have a bunch of very smart people who are mostly honest. uh, it's been really funny. He keeps on saying, "Can I be honest with you?" And I keep on saying, "Nope, lie to me." But smart, honest conversations are good. And it's going to start raining soon, and it's really cold, so we're probably going to end the stream pretty soon. But especially if your thing,
I'm getting hypothermia over here.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I was born in the cold and the rain.
Yeah,
Oh look, Elizabeth Warren.
she's leaving.
2024, baby.
It still kills me she wrote that book, The Two-Wage Trap. Like, oh, we have the great man himself.
Yeah,
We get to add the Prophet Zach to the database. Yes, he is in the database. And we've been referring to you, Graham, by your real name during our entire discussion offline. So all the Alexa in Zach's mansion, which is completely wired up with like
deep state
listening
devices.
Yeah, it picked up all our discussions, and so I would be a thing.
Don't worry, we don't know where to find you.
Father Eric, this
Padre.
is the crossover we've been waiting for. Actually, funny enough, Father Eric, we've been talking about you more than we've been talking.
Base Father Eric.
What you call real name is legal fiction and doesn't help my search options. This is true. Yeah. But one of the things we've been talking about with because of Father Eric is you got to start taking catechism classes, Zach.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking we could go with the nuclear option, Father.
No.
Okay.
No. You're gonna have to get catechized. You're gonna. Although, Father, forgive me for I've sinned. I've been saying I would go Antiochian if I were you. But yeah.
That's where I'm stuck between the Orthodox world and the Catholic world. But I like the Catholic world a lot.
So this is one of the things I said at Lord of Spirits. I said to the people, okay, if you're Eastern Orthodox,
Sorry, Ortho Bros.
Yeah, if you're Eastern Orthodox because you agree with the theology more than the Catholic Church, are you really Eastern Orthodox? Right? Or are you just a Protestant? And I seriously do believe like at least half of the people who end up in Eastern Orthodoxy from Protestantism choose it over Catholicism because they're so Protestant.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because like there's a certain antipathy to the Catholic Church and
a call to liturgical and historical worship.
For real, I hope your priest isn't listening. Happens in Catholicism too. I'm not sure what you mean. It's all the same. Isn't Orthodoxy as a thing a protest of change? Do you think it is?
That's the claim. Seems.
I don't think it. I don't think it is. I really don't. In
ancient faith.
I don't think a radical is like, actual reactionaries, and I'm not talking about the stupid NRX who are just postmodernists LARPing as.
You're talking like Ivan Ilman.
Who's Ivan Ilman?
Russian aristocrat, ortho bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
there are actual
Or like-
reactionaries. Yeah.
Czarist ortho, bro.
Like, that's still a desire for change. Like, it's Konstantin Kisin put it this way on Twitter. He said, I am not a progressive, not because I don't believe in progress, but because I don't believe all change is progress. Right?
Yeah.
And if you're changing, like, Paul Vanderklay is the most conservative of the Orthodox, like, he's got the Orthodox mindset in a way that, like, pretty much all of the people who convert from their church, because he's like, my grandfather was a CRC minister, my father was a CRC minister,
Yeah.
I'm a CRC minister, like, my family, like, these are my people, and I'm sticking to them, and, like, I'm, like, yeah, and that's
So
Orthodox.
first he calls him a Catholic, now he's calling him an ortho, bro.
No, an
So-
ortho bro, he's not. He's actually ortho. Okay, there's a difference between ortho bros
and
and
actual orthodox.
yeah.
I'll tell you this: I think the Catholics had me at trad wave leaning.
Trad wave memeing?
Yeah, it's basically like synthwave, which is like it's you take the 80s and dial it to 11 with neon, and then you add in some classical Catholic art.
I have no idea why your Throwback Thursday memes always, like, they seem appropriate. It's like I have zero clue.
Out of touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Out of Touch Thursday. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what?
I'm out of touch.
Touch grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's Thursday. Oh no, 1%.
Okay. So when his phone dies, we're okay. That's the end of the stream, folks. Have fun.